What's happening, guys? Safety Liner C2 here. First off, before we get started, I am driving Brandon's ICRE. Listen to me when I say this, please. This will be public, but it is not yet public, okay? When I know that it's public, I'll make a video and I'll do all that and blah blah blah, but it is not public as of the time that this video is up. Anyways, I just wanted to get that out of the way because people are always asking. I am on Baker Ranch, which can be found on the official ROR forum, and like I said, this is Brandon's ICRE, the Kentucky version of it. So, and independent is also spelled wrong. So, anyways, let's go ahead and let's get started. Hope y'all are having a good day, night, morning, whatever it is, wherever you are. I'm doing fine. Started classes back today. I know y'all love hearing about my school situation, shall we say. Oh, Cameron, you just sit there and complain about school all day. That's all you do in your videos now. No. I complain about other stuff too. Just recently it's been more so about school. But let's see. I'll just tell you a quick few things about school. Had spring break last week. And it wasn't really spring break because I had stuff due during spring break. So it's like, what's the point of spring break if there's stuff due, like it's supposed to be a break? And then I also had stuff due immediately after spring break, the day after, you know, so it's like, well, I was going to have to work on these during spring break, so, you know, not really getting a break at all, but it's nice to have at least one day where I didn't have to worry about anything, so. The other thing, because of spring break, obviously, don't have to worry about going to class or anything, but our system sends out these emails if you haven't turned anything in or if you haven't been showing up to class, and it's basically saying, hey, you haven't been showing up to class, you haven't been turning in your work, are you okay, blah blah blah, you know. If you don't show up in this amount of days, your class is dropped. And you know, I get those every now and then because the teacher doesn't enter in grades or, you know, whatever. You know, you just push them off. Unless you're actually not showing up to class. Well, I get one during spring break that says, oh, you're not showing up for your music theory class. So I open it up, but it doesn't look like the rest of them. You know, the rest of them are nicely formatted. They come in like a table and it shows like the last couple days you were there and blah blah blah. But this one was just a paragraph, handwritten from my teacher, asking why I wasn't doing anything during spring break. Like, what? You don't have any assignments due for the next 2 weeks. You have like a reading and that's it. Like, yeah, so that was a little ridiculous. Like, just sitting there and like, huh? What did you mean to send that out? I don't think you did, but whatever. Here we go, story time. So right now, my mom has her best friend staying with us for like a week or so. They lived together, they were roommates, and I think they went to high school together. They definitely went to college together, and you know, they've been best friends their whole life. And they haven't seen each other in, I think she said 7 years or something. So she was going to fly into Phoenix on a Sunday afternoon, but they ended up canceling that flight, so she booked a different one for Saturday night. Okay? So my mom does not like driving in the city, much less at night, so she said, hey, can you drive me up to Phoenix so we can go pick her up and, you know, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And I don't mind city driving, I really don't. And especially going from here in Tucson up to Phoenix, it's literally just a straight shot up the highway. It's about an hour, hour and a half, depending on where you're going. And I said, yeah, that's fine, no big deal. Which airport are we going to? She said, the main one. Okay, now, if you're in a big city, then chances are there's a couple different airports. For example, in Houston, you had Bush Airport and you had Hobby. Bush was the main airport and Hobby was the smaller one. The Bay Area, SFO, that's the main airport, but you also have San Jose, you have Oakland, you have all these other ones. And you know, so when I first moved here to Tucson, you know, I started reading up about, you know, what's kind of like the history of Tucson and Phoenix, and, you know, learning about all that, you know, just a bunch of different stuff, just random stuff that you don't need to know. So, you know, a while back I had read that there was another airport in Phoenix besides Sky Harbor, which is the main airport in Phoenix. So, Sky Harbor, that's an easy airport to get to, straight shot up the highway, take an exit, take another exit, and then you're there. I don't have to pull up a map, I know where it's at, you know. So, we drive up there, and once we get into the proximity of the airport, my mom pulls up the ticket that she got on her phone from her friend, and she said it's Allegiance Airlines out of Terminal 4. Okay, cool. Then we'll go park in Terminal 4 parking. So, we're driving, and you know how the airports have like the terminal signs and everything when you're outside, and it's like, oh, if you're flying Southwest or United, it's out of Terminal 1, Terminal 2, you know, whatever, when you're driving outside the airport. So, me being me, I'm looking at these signs just to double check that it's in Terminal 4. So, Terminal 1 sign comes up, it's not on Terminal 1. Terminal 2 sign comes up, it's not on Terminal 2. Terminal 3 sign comes up, it's not on 3. Terminal 4 sign comes up, guess what? It's not on Terminal 4 either. Okay. Well, now we have a problem. So she opens up the ticket again and realizes that it says Gate 4 instead of Terminal 4, and that it said Terminal Unspecified. And you know that's common for some of these smaller airlines where it's, you know, they don't have like designated places, or they only fly in a couple times a week, you know. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go ahead and park in Terminal 4, and then we can go inside and kind of figure out where it's at. So Sky Harbor, I don't like how the outside is set up. It's such a pain in the rear to park. Like, you have to go around a couple times just to get it right. And I do not like how it's set up. Every time I freaking go there, I have to end up circling around because you miss the freaking exit because they're only showing one sign. Or it's just poorly set up. But anyway, so we go back around. Mind you, I'm driving, okay? And my mom's just telling me all this information. So we get the ticket to park, go up 2, 3, 4, 5 levels. Mind you, we're talking 8 o'clock at night, 8:30 probably. Flight comes in at 9:30. Okay. So 8:30 comes around, finally park, and then I say, hey Mom, let me see the ticket, the plane ticket, so that I can, oh, no, we don't want to go there. Let me see the plane ticket, maybe I can look it up online through their website and see what gate they're coming out of. So she hands me her phone, and I look, and it says, you know, gate 4 is where they're coming in from. They're coming in, or they're flying from somewhere in Illinois, I don't remember where. Smaller airport. And it also says terminal unspecified. But then I looked down, and I was wondering where she was coming from, and it said the airport, and I look over, and it says it's flying to AZA. Now, like I said, I know just a bunch of random crap because of when I first moved here. I just looked up a bunch of random crap, and the fact that I've flown out of Sky Harbor a dozen times, I noticed that AZA is not the call sign for Sky Harbor. PHX is. So I'm like, oh, Mom, this is not the right airport. So, you know, because she didn't know that. When her friend just said, oh yeah, I'm flying into the Phoenix airport, thinking that there's only one. You know, whatever. So I look up AZA Airport, and here we have Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport, 45 minutes away. Ugh. So, like I said, around 8:30, so gotta go down here, get out of Sky Harbor, which is a pain, and then get onto the highway, get onto another highway, and then end up in where was it at? Mesa, that's where it was at. It's in the freaking name. Phoenix Mesa Gateway. So we'd end up over in Mesa, which is over on the west side of Phoenix. Or the east side of Phoenix. And 45 minutes later, here we are. So, you know, that was a lot of fun, having to drive an hour and a half to get to the airport, realizing we were at the wrong airport, and then drive another 45 minutes to get to a different airport. Oh my god. It's like, just... That is why I always double check everything. You know, it's not a big deal. But just got to be more cautious about stuff like that, because that is that is very important, knowing which airport you're going to, making sure you're going to the right airport. So let's see what else is going on here. I'm thinking of buying an annual park pass. Those of you who don't know, Tucson, I've said it in a couple of videos, Tucson is surrounded by national and state parks. And the area where I'm at, I live pretty close to the national park. Every now and then, usually, let's say maybe once or twice a week, I'll actually drive through the national park to get to where I'm going. It's amazing. Like, it's so beautiful. Just got a random message, but anyways, so you know, some of the spots in the park you don't have to pay to go because they're right off the main road that passes through the park on both sides of it. But other parts you have to pay the entrance fee in order to access. Entrance fee is $15 for a week. It's not bad if you're just visiting, you know, or camping, you know. Like I said, just absolutely beautiful. You have, I think, the most amount of saguaros in the world in this national park, Saguaro National Park. And, you know, I haven't done any hiking in a while, and I like going out every now and then and just doing, you know, desert pictures and whatnot, because, you know, I'm able to do that here, unlike I was in Houston or California. So I'm thinking, if you buy, you can buy a couple different passes. You can buy a pass to just that national park. I think it's $40. So $40 gets you in for a year. You just put up a little sign on your car and just drive right in. It's not a bad idea. Or you can get the annual national pass, which is $80 a year, but it gets you into all national parks, national monuments, all that stuff. And I'm thinking, like, I don't know what traveling I plan on doing this year, because I'm thinking of going back to San Francisco to do a meetup in a couple weeks. And I would love to go to, there's a handful of different parks there that I would like to go to, especially the Golden Gate National Area. You know, I've been to the tourist parts of it, but I would love to go to the, I can't remember what they call it, but there's a park right off the coast with beautiful, beautiful views of the Golden Gate. And if I do plan on, or if I do end up going back there to San Francisco, then, you know, that would be just fantastic to have, get him for free, and as well as get him for, you know, get into the park over here. And I might maybe end up going back to Houston at some time during the year, whether that be over summer or winter, or maybe both, I don't know. Right now I'm planning on going summer, and then if I do plan on going to Spring Fling, that can get me, and I think it said like 3 or 4 other people in. So if there's a, you know, something nearby there, or if I, you know, plan on going elsewhere, you know, so it's a good deal if you're traveling. But I don't know, $80. But then again, that would also, you know, cover a good amount of the times that I'd go to the national park and just, you know, chill there, because that, oh my gosh, I can just go there and just not have to worry about anything, just so relaxing there. I don't know what I'm going to end up doing though. Like, I want to decide within the next few days I'm going to end up doing it, whether I should just do the just saguaro or the whole national level thing. I don't know, they're both really good deals though, so it's like, you know, what am I actually going to use? Because I feel like if I get just the saguaro one, and then I end up wanting to go to, you know, one of these other ones because I'm close by or whatever, then it's going to be like, oh, crap, I should have bought that other one, because now I'm paying, you know, $30 to get into Grand Canyon or whatever. So, I don't know. was about to say these warning lights don't work. I don't like these reverse lights either. Oh, well, they're off anyways, but... Oh, we got wigwags up here. Nice. And yes, I know those reverse lights are standard Kentucky lights, so... It really works, haha. No, it doesn't. Alright, let's see. What other stories do I got? Okay, here's one. So, this is maybe 2 weeks ago at this point. We had a family friend who needed to go out of town because he had to get heart surgery. And he ended up going to LA to do that. So it's not a far, it's not too far, but they were going to be out for a little bit. They were going for like a week total because they did some new procedure where they didn't have to, crack open his chest. And anyways, that's not the point. So I had to watch their dogs and, just go over a couple times a day. They wanted me to stay the night there and just make sure that they were okay because, whatever. Well, anyways, one of these days was the day of my midterm for Spanish. Now, the Spanish midterm, you have to talk to the professor in Spanish, and they basically ask you questions and then you answer them, and then they, based off the responses, they'll give you a grade off there, whatever. So I'm expecting to do terribly at this because I freaking hate talking in Spanish. I cannot do it. I can really only do basic stuff and, whatever. So, get on the call with Professor. I'm taking it online because when I signed up for last semester for Spanish 1 last semester, I was like, oh, if I take it online, then I'm not going to have to worry about speaking. Yeah, it didn't work out, but anyways, I find it easier online anyway, but so I get on, and she's like, oh, hey, how are you doing? And I'm like, oh, I'm just nervous. Like, and you know what she said? She said, oh, you know what? You do a really good job in all your other stuff, and blah, 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 and I have really high expectations for you. I'm like, oh, Jesus, like, come on. That didn't help at all, thank you. Well, anyways, so she's like, okay, we're going to do 5 questions. I'm going to give you a warm-up question, and then we'll get started. I'm like, okay. So she ends up, first question was like, what's my name? Me llamo Cameron. Okay, easy. Then she asked me what time it is, what day it is, how many classes I'm taking, and something else. And I was like, okay, maybe she's doing other warm-up questions or whatever. Well, anyway, she asked the last question. She's like, okay, we're done. I'm like, what? Wait, we're done? That's it? She's like, yeah. Here's what you messed up. And, just a few small, minor things, nothing too bad. Like I messed up a conjugation and I forgot a word here, and, so she's like, okay, well, one of the conjugations I messed up in Spanish. If you don't take Spanish, it's, God, how do you explain a conjugation? Like, it's basically how to how a verb relates to a person, I guess. So like there's a different ending for the word if I want to say that I'm doing something, if I'm doing something, then I would say it one way. If you're doing something, then I would say it a different way. If they're doing something, if we're doing something, you know, it'd all be different. So anyways, there's dozens of different forms of these, like I'm doing it right now, I already did it, I'm going to do it, you know, whatever. So, you know, I say, you know, I took 4 classes last semester when in reality she wanted to know how many I'm taking this semester. She's like, oh yeah, you said this when you should have said this. Okay. Oh, well, in your instructions I thought we were focusing on this, so that just messed up. You're completely right, and blah blah blah. And she's like, oh, yeah, I guess that makes sense. I'm gonna give you full credit for that anyway. I'm like, huh? I'm like, okay. Well, anyways, like 10 minutes pass, and I'm like, okay, I need to go. 10 minutes after this is done, I'm like, okay, I need to go feed these dogs their dinner. But as I'm about to close out, I decide, okay, I'm just going to refresh and see if I got the grade. Turns out I got a freaking 100 on it. I'm like, what? No. Like, I don't even know why I'm telling you this, because this has nothing to do with the main story that I'm getting to. Well, I guess it kind of does, but anyways, so on my way there, pass a McDonald's. I'm not really one for McDonald's, you know, but it's getting like 6 o'clock at night. I'm hungry. You know what? I'm gonna reward myself. I'm gonna get myself some McDonald's. I'm gonna get a Big Mac, get some fries, get a large Coke, and a McFlurry. You know what? I'm gonna reward myself. I did so well on this. You know, good for me. Okay, so drive into McDonald's, like I said, probably around 6 o'clock at night. And there's a decent line there. There's a lot of people there. So I'm like, okay, probably understaffed, you know. It's rush hour right now, you know. Give it a couple minutes. So after 5 minutes, I finally get up to the little kiosk thing. I'm in the drive-thru. Okay. Sit there for a little bit. No one's saying anything. But I can hear in the other kiosk thing beside me that people are getting their orders taken and, you know, driving off to go pay. Well, I end up sitting there for 7 minutes, I think. I'm patient, and, you know, I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Okay, I'm like, okay, they're definitely understaffed, you know, something's going on, you know, whatever. And throughout all of this, I'm calling out, I'm like, hello, you know, whatever. So, after, you know, I listened to 2 songs before I'm like, you know what, I'm done. I'm going up, you know, to the window. So, we pull up to the window, the first window to pay, and there's no one there. What do you know? So I sit there for a minute, and then eventually what looks to be a manager comes back. I'm like, hi, no one was taking my order at the kiosk thing back there. Could you please take my order? And she said, you know what she said to me. She's like, oh yeah, I noticed that. What do you want to eat? I'm like, what? You noticed that I was sitting there for well over 5 minutes and you didn't do anything? Like, what type of manager are you? Like, I understand you're busy and, you know, it's rush hour or whatever, but you gotta get people in and out of the drive-thru. You know, I didn't say any of this, but, you know, I was pissed, and I went on their little survey thing and put a bad review in and, you know, all that. But it's like, you know, why didn't you just serve? It's not like I'm ordering at complex meat. I'm ordering your most common burger, your most common drink, and a McFlurry. And if the ice cream machine is broken, then just tell me, and I really don't care. It's not like I need it. And I just want a small one, too. Well, anyways, I'm just... You know, that was just a terrible experience at that McDonald's, and I had gone there one other time before, and it was a fine experience, you know, nothing wrong, just in and out, you know, just a normal McDonald's experience. I'm gonna go over here this time. But that really just, you know, took my day and just kind of, like, come on, man, why you gotta ruin that? But, anyways, I'm going on half an hour here. I need to... other stuff I need to do, so let's just watch this. Oh. Is it gonna happen? Kind of, not really. Where are the wheels in here? There we go. Alright, and boom. Bada bing, bada boom. Backspace, and yeah, so, anyways, that's pretty much it. I won't have much more. Yeet. And, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe. Right down here, it's a magical red button that says you are not subscribed to Safety Liner C2. Make sure you comment up here, down here, over here, or over here. I don't know where they put it, down here where they put it. Make sure you also give this video a thumbs up, or your McDonald's service is going to be super slow as well. And make sure you also share this video with a friend. Show it to your mom, share it to your dad, show it to a guy in a random street. I don't care, don't get raped. So yeah, guys, that is pretty much it. And thanks for watching.